Hey everyone, this is Coloring Chemist. My name is Connie, and welcome back to my channel. This is going to be probably a fairly long video. Long, chatty. I'm going to go through my coloring books that are seasonal, and I got this idea from the wonderful, lovely Jess over at Coloring Bumblebee. She did a video like this recently, and for those of you that have been watching my channel for a while, you know, and I say this often, I'm a sucker for a seasonal coloring book. I love them. And so I really enjoyed watching Jess's video and just seeing, books that are out there. So I went through my own collection and I got, probably a fair number of the same ones that Jess did. I have some that are different. Jess has some that I don't. I think I probably am cheating a little bit, and I think I expanded the definition a little bit more than Jess did. Sorry, Jess. She included books that had sort of sections in them for each season. And I included some books in the ones that I pulled where it's not necessarily concrete sort of sections within the book, but the book has images in it that covers, images from at least all 4 seasons. They might be all mixed up within the book, so the book doesn't actually have, a spring, summer, fall, winter kind of seasons sections. So yeah, I maybe I cheated a little bit. But I thought I would start with these two. So these two are project books that I've been working on this year. So this one is, of course, the Tiny Year Coloring Heaven book. Oops, sorry, a little glare there. Designed by Agota Pop. And what I've been doing is the start to each of these. So this is seasonal in that it covers 12 months of the year. And I should also say, when I say seasonal, and I apologize to all of those of you down in the southern hemisphere, it must drive you absolutely bananas when those of us up here in the northern hemisphere talk about seasons and seasonal books, because of course we're always referring to our own seasons, which are the opposite of yours. So I do apologize. But being here in central Canada, this is where I'm coming at for my seasons. So this book isn't seasonal, but it does have each of the months in it. And at the beginning of each of the month, you've got this sort of little title page, and those are the pages that I've been coloring. So you have this little title page here for January, and then you've got 3, I think? Yeah, 3 pages of sort of little tinies that have to do with, January, and then you come to February, and then 3 more pages, and you come to March, etc. So I've been trying to work my way through. So I've done March, I've done April. I'm not going to show you May, because that's going to be in the May completed pages video, but I did do May. Oh, there it is. And yeah, and then it just goes through. So I think this is seasonal. This is a 2026 coloring calendar, and again, for those of you who have followed my channel for a while, you would have seen this in my completed pages videos for 2026. 2026 coloring calendar by Melpomene Hetspanigyatu. And you can only buy this on her Etsy store. So it's a printable calendar. Now, I always try and say this too. This is what the calendar looks like when you purchase it. I took the images, not this first one. This first one was a full page image. So this is like the cover of the calendar. And then you've got an image for each month. So when you buy the calendar, there's the January image. You've got, a calendar. I didn't necessarily want it as a calendar, so I did a little bit of editing in Adobe Pro. I took this part out, took the image, rotated it, and enlarged it. But yeah, so it goes through all 12 months. This one I've not done. There's the May picture. I haven't done that yet, but I do April, March, February, there's January. At the end of this, you've also got some, they're almost like tinies. You can see here. I think I printed them. I had originally printed this calendar as a calendar and then decided I wanted to do a little fiddling with the images, so I reprinted it, but I kept these just to be able to show, that's what it looked like. But yeah, and then she's got a couple pages of tinies at the end that are kind of seasonal as well. Like a little Christmas one here, some Halloween, some fall ones. There's like a summer campfire. I don't think there was one more picture of, one more page of, yeah. Or no, I think I did this, I was doing some, again, fiddling in Adobe Pro, just printing the top row of this larger, but yeah, the end of the calendar has some tinies at the end. So that is a coloring calendar by Melpomene. So I figure that's a seasonal book. What else have I got here? This, I'm calling this a seasonal book. So again, for those of you who follow my channel, you know I love mandalas. And I really do like the mandalas by Nicola Lehman. And this is one of the books you can get off of Etsy by her. It's called The Art of Mandalas, Etsy Designs Edition. So she does have an Etsy store, and you can buy PDFs of some of her stuff. She took some of them and put them into this book. And in my mind, it's kind of seasonal because you've got in the garden section, so you've got, and then you've got some flower mandalas, feel-good mandalas, which I suppose aren't necessarily seasonal, joyful, and then she's got a section with autumn mandalas, cozy fall mandalas, and then Christmas mandalas, peaceful mandalas she calls them, and then love mandalas she's got in here. So I think beautiful blooms here at the end. So I feel like this is kind of a seasonal book. No Halloween, I guess, but it does have fall. But yeah, you've got mandalas from various seasons in there. So I thought that was a good one to include. And I should say, one of the reasons why I really do like seasonal books is because I feel like you get a good variety of images in a seasonal book. Now, I mean, there's other books out there that aren't seasonal where you also get, you know, a good variety of images, but there's something about the seasons that just really appeals to me. And I feel with a seasonal book, it's like you get a little bit of everything. So, you know, it's not necessarily just a book of flowers or just a book of houses or, you know, that sort of thing. So again, if that's what you're looking for, that's awesome. But yeah, I just like the seasonal books. They just really, really appeal to me. This, again, I don't know that this is a seasonal book in the sense that it's not split into seasons, but this is Angela Harding's original coloring book. It's just called Coloring Book. And I colored in this a fair amount. The back here, you've got pages where it's small little thumbnails of all of the line art that she's put in here. And the line art, of course, is based on her original artworks. And I think you could call this a seasonal book. So, you know, you've got some that are tulips and forget-me-nots. You know, you've got some with poppies here. It's all sort of landscape stuff. You've got Christmas curlew, blackbird and berries. That's sort of a wintry one. The Common I felt was kind of summery. I did do that one. You know, there's one in here. So I had to tape them back in because I had torn them out just to have them next to me when I do the images. Hares in Conversation was definitely a winter one. I just showed that one recently because that was in my kind of, it was the spring one. I actually did that one. That one I kind of, you know, felt was summer, called The Common. That was Hares in Conversation, so there you got winter. Actually, I'm thinking about it. I think I've done one in here from each season because then I also did October Owl. So yeah, I've got spring, summer, winter, fall, and then I did one more. I think I did the winter squirrel, so I did 2 winter ones. But you got like Rose Cottage, Scottish robins, which you've got some holly, some thistles that are like last season's thistles, so they're seed thistles. Summer foxes at Mars Call. So I do think you could call this early nesters. That's, you know, very early spring. Again, winter squirrel, August blackbird. I think you could definitely call this a seasonal book. So yeah, this idea that you've got a book where you've got a variety of images, and seasonal books sort of feel to me like really nice all-in-one books. It's, you know, if let's say if I could only take one book to a desert island, I would definitely pick a seasonal book, because then I could be coloring, you know, from the different seasons. I would have a choice of, yeah, just, you know, to me the different seasons have different color palettes associated with them, that sort of thing. Oh, sorry if you can hear traffic going by, a window open. What else have I got here? Okay, this one. It's not broken up into seasons, you know, in sections, but I think it's got, you know, images in here. So this is my Tiny Forest coloring book, Nina Steiner. Hoping I'm saying that right. Again, Nina has an Etsy store, and you can buy a PDF of this, but you can buy this book on Amazon print paper. But you've got images in here that I think span the seasons. There's a Christmas one. These two back here were, you know, sort of spring summer. That one gives me sort of summertime vibes. Summertime again. This is kind of a fall harvest one. You've got some sunflowers there. That's winter. Fall, you've got falling leaves. That to me could be summer, could be spring. Cozying up, a little scarf here, that's maybe winter. This is maybe late summer, although the flowers don't really match late summer, do they? But there's a couple leaves in the air. This could be fall time. And these are more kind of summer, kind of springish. That one's got daffodils and things in it. I know so many of these I haven't colored in. It's kind of tragic, but yeah. So I won't do full flip throughs of all the books, because if I did, we'd be here forever, because I have a lot of books pulled. But yeah, I thought that was another one that could definitely, you know, in my mind count as a seasonal book. This is one that I know Jess had in her collection. So this is Gaël Lautier, Jardin l'Anglaise, so English Gardens. And this one is split into seasons. So you start with fall. Yes, I started coloring this. That's as far as I got. It's even pencil coloring because it's shiny. Ooh. Lots of double page spreads in this one. The paper's quite good. This is a Marabou book. And so you go through fall. You have some kind of mandala pages. You usually have for each season, you have like a door with a wreath. Now we're into winter. This looks like really early spring because it looks like snowdrops coming through snow. But then you still got Christmas. So they're a little mixed up in here. Foxgloves, so that feels like maybe now we're into spring, summer. By the beach there, that looks very summery. So yeah, so it's split into sections. It's still, I think, maybe a little scattered, but definitely I think would count as a seasonal book. So, Jardin l'Anglaise. Forgive my French pronunciation. Another French book that's seasonal is this one here. So, Amélie Lafetière, Merveilleux Coloriage. That was probably really terrible. This is a Larousse published book. Larousse Jeunesse, so Larousse Kids. And this book sometimes it has a colored image to copy, sometimes it doesn't. And I believe this one actually is split into, yes, it is split into seasons. So Le Printemps, spring. So this one here, you know, you've got one you can copy, and then you've got others here that are just, some of them have some colored bits on them, like this has a colored background. It's really pretty, kind of robin's egg blue. It's got a black background. This, again, I didn't color that was already there. Oh, that's her shadow. I was going to say it's a printing error, but summer. The summer, I guess, would translate to. Again, I did, so any of the coloring in here, this was here. I didn't color any of that. This one has some color just on the tag of the jar. L'automne, the autumn. That's very cute. This one has, I mean, this is colored. Tiny little ladybug is colored. I don't know if you can even see that. And l'hiver, winter. Yeah, so there you go. Another seasonal book. Forgive the clacking. That is whenever my fridge compressor kicks on, it makes this, and you may have heard it in my other videos. I call it my fridge elves. I don't know if it's something to do with the compressor, but it makes this little tick, 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 tick noise just for like maybe 30 seconds. No idea why. This is a Lulumeo compilation book. Une année à colorier, so a year of coloring. Le Monde Enchanté, so the enchanted world. That would translate to, I think. And this has images. It's a huge, thick book. It's soft cover. And it's stitch bound. It has images from like a million cats, a million bears, a million dogs, mermaids, cute animals, creatures, sea creatures, little monsters, baby animals. So from 2015 through to 2024. And they pulled images from her books and split them into seasons. Now, some of them, I think they were reaching. But we start with autumn, so we start with fall time. Yeah, like, I mean, I'm not sure why that's fall. I guess because they're cozying up. They seem like, you know, things with leaves, they just decided, or mushrooms, they were going to call them fall time. No idea why that's fall. So, kind of very loosely seasonal, I guess. But I guess it would still count as a seasonal book. So here you've got some Halloween kind of imagery. I've always loved that image. I'm scared to color it, mess it up. And then we go through. Oh, that still looks like fall. I feel like I've gone too far, maybe? No, there we go. Hiver. So you're getting, you know, that much per season. So that, I mean, that's a fair number of images. So then we go through hiver, and then printemps, spring would be next. There we go. I've done one image in here. That's it. I've done this one. I think I did this for Mermaid last year. Some shiny paints on there. And then eventually we would get to été, which would be summer, which I probably missed. Oh well. But yeah, so this is a Lulumeo seasonal book. This is the only Clara Malkova book that I own. I just am not a huge fan of Clara's drawing style. Just doesn't call to me. But this one was the one, if I was going to have one of her books, it was going to be this one, because it's seasonal. So I've done one image in here. It was that one. So I did that one based on the cover image. And it doesn't have sort of, you know, labels at the beginning of each season. But what I noticed was, so for spring, which I'm assuming kind of is this first season, you've got this cupcake and then kind of these, I'm not sure what kind of flowers, almost kind of little bluebell kind of flowers. And then, you know, everything with those images on this left-hand side sort of seems to be spring. And then when the images change, so to this little seahorse, now this sort of seems to be kind of summer. And then we go through. Seahorse, and then, is that still summer? I feel like when the mushroom starts, maybe? maybe it's kind of mixed up. Maybe it's another one of these kind of ones that are mixed up. But I feel like there are kind of seasonal images in here. Yeah. Got a pumpkin there. You've got mushrooms. Like that feels like kind of an autumn image. I think there are Christmas ones in here too, aren't there? Yeah, so then you've got some mushroom with like holly. So then this is kind of a Christmassy one. Yeah, this was like kind of Halloween. You've got apples, pumpkins. And then you've got some kind of Christmassy ones at the back here. So I feel like this book, again, it doesn't have, sections in it, but I definitely think you could call that a seasonal book. So this is Clara Markova Fairy Celebrations. This one, of course, very recent. Maria Trolla Orsteeder. That was probably very bad. But I think it translates to seasons. And so she's got, she starts with spring. Yeah. So then we've got spring, and chicks and eggs and things. And then we kind of move into summertime. And then autumn. Pumpkins and things, and then we move into, there's Halloween, winter, did that one, it's the only one that I've done in here. And you've got winter ones at the back here, kind of Christmassy. But yeah, that's definitely, if it's called seasons, you'd think it would be a seasonal book. And then of course, this one, which you can't get anymore, which is very sad. This is Hannah Carlson, her seasons book. This one also starts with spring, I think. Yeah. So this one is broken into separated seasons. So the beginning of each new season has sort of a page that kind of looks like this with like little bottles. So that's spring. And then we've got images, and then the summer section starts with this, as a bottle says Bright Summer Nights, so I colored that one. And then the autumn section starts there. Bottom says Autumn Winds. And then the winter one, you've got fallen stars, you've got icicles and things like that. So yeah, this, unfortunately, this book is not in print anymore, and neither is this. And I was so lucky to have received this from a beautiful viewer, Suzanne. And yeah, there was a postcard book that went along with seasons. And I've done one in here. I did this one. Flowers and little strawberries there. But yeah, this one also has, it's just got 20 images in here. It's got little, I think all of these images are in here, but maybe only parts of it, because I do know that that mouse one is in here, but it's like a double page spread. But yeah, wonderful, beautiful books. This is one that I don't see very often. So this is a Top book, T-O-P-P. It's German. I don't know if that's the publisher. It sort of has, there's quite a few books in this Colorful World series, but this is Mein Jahr. Yarn? That was probably terrible. My Year, basically. And it's almost like a calendar book, but it's undated. And so, yeah, I mean, it is a calendar. So you can put your personal information in there. And then we start with January. And it's got, the weeks in here, but there's no numbers. So there's no years, right? So you just got, probably 4 weeks in January. And then January into February. And on each page, so you've got space, you can write, you can use it as a calendar. And then you've got images to color. And I believe all of the images are by Ursula Schwab. So if you're a fan of of Ursula's. Now, I don't know if all of these images are in some of her other books. I don't know. But here, February, and then into March. So you've got kind of springtime images. March into April. So some kind of Eastery. Spring. May. And going through June, July. So now we're into summertime images. August, September, kind of more fall, fair, harvesty, October. There's a Halloween page, November. And then December, we've got some Christmas ones at the back here. Again, a yearly planner. No, I mean, it's got numbers, but it doesn't say, you know, there's no year on here, so you can use this for any year. If you want to make notes for each month, it's all in German, but I think it's pretty easy to translate and follow what's what. Yeah, it's hardcover. It has a little ribbon bookmark. When was it originally published? 2020. So, you know what, I'm not sure that you can get it anymore, but it's got relatively nice paper in it. It's not like cardstock, but nice bright white paper. It's thickish. So yeah, there's a little yearly hardcover calendar book. Speaking of small books, this is another one that I remember Jess having on her video, Boule de Poil, so fur balls. And this, of course, is Diane Dufour. And this is split into seasons. And for each season, we start with this little kind of diamond shape. So I believe this one starts with autumn. I remember. Yeah. And then goes through. A diamond shape there. So that means this is the start of the winter section. There's the start of the spring section. I've not colored anything in here, and there's the start of the summer section. Very cute. At the back, it has these extra pages where you've got extra images. You've got like kind of little tags if you want. You've got places for note taking, but very, very cute book. Two postcard books that I have that are... Now, I don't know if this one is considered seasonal. It could be. This is an Erie postcard book. And you do have... I think... I mean, you've got winter in here. No, that's really seasonal. You do have Christmas. And you've got 2 copies of each postcard. I actually tore the other Christmas one out. I was going to color it. Never did. It's in a... I haven't lost it. I have it somewhere. You've got a Halloween postcard in here. Some of them, I guess, that one looks to me kind of like autumn, right? You've got the, you know, the nuts and the mushrooms and things. To me, that's, you know, it's picnic, so it's kind of summery. You're at the beach, kind of summery. Getting ice cream, getting summer. That could be spring or summer. Gardening. Dress. So, I mean, not... I don't know. To me, I would still call that seasonal because I think there's images in there that would cover all 4 of the seasons. This one is Kanoko Agusa, her postcard book, and it's called Waltzes for the Seasons. So I'm going to guess this is a seasonal book. It has some postcards that are actually, there's 4. So there's perforations here and there. So you've got little teeny cards to color. Winter, kind of more foliage images there. But, yeah. Again, I don't know that this one is necessarily in order. But I think you've got images in here that cover all of the seasons. I mean, that's spring. That's kind of Christmas. Maybe Valentine's Day. There's some more winter ones. There's winter. That's Halloween. Some more Halloween. Say summer. Kind of a spring feeling one. That's kind of spring feeling there. I think there's some Easter eggs in here. Maybe not. Oh yeah, there. Well, it's got a lamb. I guess that's not Easter eggs. Some chicks. There's an Easter egg. So yeah, I think, again, not in order and not separate, sections of seasons, but I think definitely a seasonal book. This is another one that is not technically separated into seasons, but I think there are seasonal pages in here. So this is Woodland Watercolor, Claire Therese Gray. It says it's printed on watercolor paper. I actually disagree. It's printed on textured paper, but I don't know that it has any sizing on it because I tried some watercolor markers. I could not blend, like the ink immediately sunk into the paper. So if you're going to be using watercolor in here, I would treat the paper with some kind of sizing, whether it be Holbein multi-sizing liquid or some kind of workable spray first, because otherwise, again, you could use colored pencil on here, I would think. It's very textured paper. It feels like watercolor paper, but I don't know that it has sizing on it. Yeah, because the watercolor just did not act like I thought it would. But it's all woodlands, and I think, yeah, I mean, it even, you see that? It kind of ghosted through. So, I feel like you've got kind of some spring stuff here at the beginning. You've got, eggs. I feel like maybe those are some spring blossoms here. And then, maybe more spring blossoms. Baby birds. And then maybe more into kind of summertime here. So, field notes and woodland flowers. That to me feels like we're getting maybe into autumn. You've got pheasants, hunting dogs, some acorns there. That feels kind of like autumn bits of things there. That feels like an autumn kind of wreath. Common fungi. Kind of seeds there, kind of autumny. And now we've got sort of a deer. You've got, looks like some holly leaves in there, so kind of a winterish feeling. You've got bare trees there too. Again, you've got some holly, some doves there. This looks like mistletoe. Holly, mistletoe sort of thing. See, here in winter we would not have trees with ivy on them. The ivy would be dead. Dead and crisp. But maybe some of you over in the UK and Europe in wintertime, do you have ivy still growing on trees? Possibly. There's a Christmas, or a Christmas Carol, The Holly and the Ivy. Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I'm in central Canada. We don't have holly here either. It would also be crispy and dead, but... And then this, yeah, you've got the bare trees, you've got smoke rising. So I think you could definitely call that a seasonal book. So that's Woodland Watercolor, Claire Therese Gray. I do have some of these books by Descent-Torah. So, French publisher. Some, sorry, I'm kind of turning away here. See if I can kind of put them together. This one is a color by number. These ones are not. But I think all four of these, I think, could be considered seasonal. So this one is, they're stitch bound and glue bound, and they have this, I'm not sure what kind of binding that is. It's like a tape binding, and then, I don't know if you can see that. It's like a chipboard cover on the front and the back. So, Le Moment Cozy de Livia, so Livia's Cozy Moments. Really thick paper. And there's an image to copy on the left. So again, not broken up into sections with seasons, but you know, you've got some florals, you've got some summertime. This is looking more like winter, right? You've got cozy socks, fire. There's Christmas. Right next to it, there's summer. Happy cozy fall. So they're kind of all over the place. Happy holidays. There's another summertime one. Summer. That could be any time, I guess. Make my life a picnic. There's Christmas. There's a greenhouse. Summer. That one's definitely autumn. So there's winter. Yeah, I think definitely seasonal. It's just kind of all mixed up seasonal. Greetings. Give thanks. There's a Thanksgiving one. Happy holidays. Yeah, so you've got, you know, original artwork on the left, line work to color on the right. Happy birthday. There's a summary at the beginning. Has little thumbnails of them all. Here's the artist. Olivia Gibbs. This one, Tommy Shahar. This one I think is broken up into seasons. So we've got, there she is, my pal Tommy. She also goes by the name Tsuki. Same kind of binding as the other one. You've got that tape and then like chipboard. So this is chat, cats, visually chat. Here you've got, again, seasons. I think these are, yeah, they're kind of mixed all in together again, because I think you've got, I mean, that's definitely fall. It's got, you know, artwork on the left. There's autumn. But then to me, that's like summer. Summer. That one's Christmas. Autumn. This one is like all 4 seasons on one page. So winter, spring, summer, fall. That's beautiful. There's autumn. So yeah, like I say, I'm not gonna flip through every book because we'll be here forever. But I definitely, I think there's one I did. So I did this one. I think you could definitely call that one seasonal, though. So if anyone wants the ISBNs of any of these books, just make a note of the timestamp and let me know in the comments below, and I can look them up for you. This one is Fleury le Richon. Again, same kind of thing. Once again, seasonal, but kind of mixed up, right? Because there you've got, you know, sort of spring. There you've got winter. Kind of tropical, but it still looks like it's snowing outside. There's definitely winter. Sorry, it would help if I was on screen. Christmas. Fall. Maybe this one is more... Well, maybe this one is kind of in sections. No, because now there's Christmas again. Now it's winter again. No, welcome spring. So yeah, we're all over the place. But still, I think there's Christmas again. Spring. I like that one. Pretty. So, seasonal. And then this one, again, same Fleury le Richon again, but this one is color by number. And so instead of having the images on the left, we've got them all at the back. So these are what all of the ones in the book are going to look like. But yeah, you can see there you've got fall, you've got Christmas, autumn again, summertime camping, cozy spring. This one's fall again, some summertime ones, Christmas, summer, a little Halloween. This one only has 24. I've done a couple. did that one. I did that one. Mostly I do these with either acrylic markers or gel pens. I did that one. And yeah, so that's another seasonal color by number. Seasonal color by number. This is another one. It's a Japanese book, but there's also a French version that has like a white tiger on the front. And again, if anyone's having trouble finding it, just let me know and I can help. There are 100 images in here. Color by number. It's got little thumbnails at the back. Not broken into sections, but definitely covers all 4 seasons. I really like this one as a color by number because it's like those Hachette Heroes books, like the Disney ones. But I'm not a fan of Disney. I know, terrible thing to say. It's one I did just this past winter. But it's a way of doing color by number. Same kind of style of book. But it's not Disney. It's all landscapes, which I love. And so just showing you the answers, showing you the thumbnails here at the back. You've got, some of them are this way. That one is an autumn kind of woodland. That's the one I showed you. It's kind of wintertime trees. Did this one, which is sort of, pink, kind of blossomy. There are definitely, summertime ones in here. Here you've got more autumn ones. There's a little autumn cabin. There's some mushrooms here. These ones are actually, like, we turn the book all the time. But here you've got more winter, autumn again. Autumn, lots of autumn here. There are some tropical kind of jungle ones. There's one with a tiger. I love that one. More autumn. I think I did the parrot one. Did I do that one? Maybe not. It's got storks and like spring blossoms. A stag in the forest. Yeah, kind of tropical ones. There's a Christmas one. It's got some cardinals and holly and stuff. There's some more fall ones. So, I definitely think this is seasonal. Again, it's not separated into seasonal sections, but I think it would be a seasonal book. Finish off with one more color by number that's seasonal. I don't see these very often. Some folks have them. There's a whole series of these. They're by Eclipse, and this one happens to be illustrated by, I'm not sure if it's AJ Quinnell or Ajay Quinnell. It's called Floresta. Color by number. It's got one color palette throughout the whole book. That was another thing I liked about this one. Again, like the Disney books, you've got a different color palette for each image. This one's the same color palette throughout the whole book. So there's your color palette, 24 colors. And it's on, I think, what they call the better, like it's still printed by Amazon, but it's the better Amazon paper. I think it's kind of smoother. And it's separated into seasons. So you've got spring here. Color by number. I was just doing lots of these with like alcohol markers. Then we've got summer. As you can see, some of the ones I've done in here. Sometimes I was using gel pens, just throwing whatever at it. There's autumn. There's winter. I did this one just this past winter, didn't I? This one I actually went and covered all the line work. Some of these ones, like I did that a while ago when I first started coloring. That one I chose to cover all the line work. So you can get some pretty cool effects. That's a pretty cool effect, I think. Yeah, I don't know honestly if this one's even for sale anymore. But it's called Floresta, Color Art Books, color by number. This is another older book. This is Adorable Animals by Jane Madej. And it's a grayscale coloring book. So at the beginning, she goes through a whole thing about how to color grayscale, which I think is fantastic because I have no clue how to color grayscale. And then you've got these fairly heavily kind of grayscaled kind of images in here. And at the back, she's got her inspiration gallery. So this is how she colored them all. Again, not broken up into seasons, but you've definitely got seasons going on in here. So, you know, all of these look pretty kind of summery. But then you've got like October Scarecrow. There's a duckling basket with eggs, so there's spring. This one's called Touch of Spring. Autumn Romance. Pumpkins and Pomegranates. There's patriotic puppies, so she's in the US, so like kind of 4th of July kind of thing. There's a bunny. Here you've got Chickadee Tea. I love that one. With kind of winter and feeding the birds. You've got berries on a bare tree. There's more autumn. Garden bench, that's very summery. There's another autumn one. Kind of summer. Nature's Treasures, that's kind of autumn. Picnics. Cozy Nap, so there's kind of a Christmassy one there. You've got holly, you've got some cardinals, snow. And that's it. So, again, don't know if this one's in print anymore either. This was one of the first books I ever bought. Have not colored in it. Just looking for a date here. 2017. So I don't know. But you could definitely see. So Adorable Animals, Jane Bidet. This is another postcard book. Sorry, brain moment there. It's called Four Seasons of Nori E. I think that's how it translates. By Yoko Ganaha. Hopefully I'm translating that right. You've got some colored examples here at the beginning. This is Japanese, I think. Sort of how to color. And then you've got the 4 seasons. So spring, summer, autumn, winter. So it starts with spring. Oh, there's all your months with ducks. That's cute. There we start with spring. So I call it a postcard book, but I guess it's not really. It's just a small book because they're not perforated. They're not meant to pull out. And you've got images on both sides. So I guess technically that's not a postcard, is it? So now we get into summer. If anyone wants more detailed flip-throughs of any of these, just let me know. Autumn. Some Halloween pictures. And winter. Snowman. Christmas tree. Yeah. So, yeah, it's the size of a postcard book, but I don't think you would technically call that postcards. Yeah, because here, that side here, there's the postcard book, the one by Kanoko Ogusa, and I mean they're basically the same size, but this is actual postcards. Got this one. I'm trying to remember. Coloring Heaven I just recently discovered, and maybe this is a recent thing with them. You can get PDFs of some of their books because I'm in rural central Canada and we do have a Walmart here, but it doesn't carry them all. And so oftentimes I just, there's not a lot of Coloring Heaven books that I want, but there are sometimes some. And so yeah, the fact that I can get PDFs from the Coloring Heaven website is pretty neat. So this is Happy Moments, designs by Paper Panda. And once again, not broken up into seasons, but I think it's so cute. Here we've got, the beginning here, we've got, kind of gardens, plants, one called Summer Lovin', rain, new beginnings, that's kind of spring, maybe a Valentine's Day one, planting gardens again. It's not how many times you get knocked down, it's how many times you get back up. Beaver's reading a book called Well Damn. That tickles me. Cup of tea solves everything. Apple of my eye. So now, I mean, that's, getting into kind of this. Well, I was going to say fall. Now it still says, oh, sweet summertime. Time for tea. There, autumn. Foxes, I always think about autumn. And then there's one that says fall. And then you've got some ones, maybe it's cold outside, so you've got some snow. Snow there. This one is kind of Christmassy. So yeah, I think, again, you could probably call that a seasonal book. So Happy Moments by Coloring Heaven. Pocket. So I haven't really got a system here. I just was sort of pulling books off the shelves. So this is a Korean book. I believe it translates to Hello Forest Friends. Joe Baram, I think, is the illustrator. And it has sections. So this is definitely a seasonal book. Very, very thick paper. And it has the original artwork on the left and then line work to copy on the right. So we're starting with spring. And then we get into summer. Okay, I'm just sort of giving you lots of you have probably seen all these books before. Into autumn. This one is glue bound, it's not stitch bound, so I was trying to crack the spine and I kind of cracked the book a bit, so I'm trying to be careful not lose any pages. Cute kind of fall. There's a Halloween one. It's very cute. And then winter. Says there's mini posters here at the back, so I guess you can cut these out and put them up on your wall if you want. But yeah, so that's a Korean book. Another smallish book here. This is also Korean? Yes, I think. Coloring book that shines together for a day. Park Rae-hee, Stella Park, I think, is the illustrator for this one. And I think this one sort of goes through seasons too. So once again, very typical of the Korean books, you've got the original artwork on the left, line art on the right. So I think we start with spring here. Very cute. And then I think summer. Very cute seaside pages. The line art on the right has a little bit of colored line work. You can probably see it best on this one here. So you can see this is, I haven't done this. So you've got almost sort of some sketchily done colors put in for the land, or for the, the land here, the sky, the sea, a little bit of the beach. And then the actual line work for the rest of it sort of matches the color here, but not so much that I don't think you could, if you wanted to put your own color and not just copy this, I think it would still be fine. And then we get into autumn. And then winter. Sorry, not showing every page, but Christmas. Again, some mini posters at the back here. Looks like maybe one from each season. So there we go. There's that one. I'm going to take a quick break, just be a few seconds for you, and then I will be back. Alright, I am back. These next two books, sadly, you can no longer get anymore. So these are by Kalia, Tiny Petites and Wonderful Little World Volume 2. These are both seasonal books. The Wonderful Little World book, I think, is broken into sections, I think. Sorry, it's hard to show. Yeah, you've got kind of winter at the back. There's Halloween, there's some fall. Some summertime ones, strawberries. Some spring ones at the front, I think. Yeah, I won't take too much time showing these because I know it can be frustrating when you see books that you just can't get anymore. This one, again, it's not one of these ones that's... Here we've got some winter ones. It's not in sections because now we've got Halloween. But I still think there's images in here from all 4 seasons. So I think that's why I would deem it a seasonal book. Spring kind of ones there. Sorry, had to do a quick pause there. Mr. Coloring Chemist had a question. I forget where I even was in this book now. But yeah, just sort of showing, I think there are seasonal pictures in here. They're just all kind of mixed together. Although it does seem to be more springish at the front, and then the fall and winter ones are at the back. But yeah, unfortunately, Kalia is no longer in business, and you can't get these books. But you might be able to find them on, like, Vinted or eBay or someplace like that. Mercari, is that another one? This, I think, excuse me, could be considered a seasonal book too. This is the Coloring and Spotting book, Freya Hardis, and it's brown bear wood based on her children's books. Again, sort of cheating here, but not a seasonal book in the sense that there's seasonal sections. But here you've got Bear's Bedtime, which of course is winter, they're hibernating. There's Snow Day, Winter Feast, so that's kind of almost a Christmassy kind of thing going on there. Rainy Day, that could be autumn. Bear's Campfire, I think that's kind of a summery camping one, maybe. This is an autumn party. Summer picnic. Swimming lessons, so that's kind of summery. Bear's birthday, planning a party. This is the only one that I've colored in here, so this is Bear's home. Seems very springish though. We've got, kind of daffodils and I was going off a picture that is in one of the Brown Bear Wood children's books, and it sort of had this kind of pinky blue kind of, I don't know, just looked very springish. So Bear's School, that's very, could be kind of a back to school fall thing. So I think we could call that a seasonal book too. 2 of Layla Dooley's that I have. So I've got Walk in the Woods. It's funny. Again, for you guys who watch my channel, you know that I like lots of little teeny details. And this is actually called Walk in the Woods, an intricate coloring book. Have I colored in it? No. I should. I think starting from front to back, once again, not really sections marked out, but it does seem to sort of start springish. You've got eggs in the nest there. Kind of those primroses, right? And then sort of, this is talking about Lily of the Valley, which is kind of a spring flower. It's kind of a spring flower here. And then sort of more moving into summer. And then I think maybe moving into autumn. It's giving me more autumn vibes there. Like that. Seems an autumn wreath. There's a little bit of an autumn poem. And then I think moving into kind of winter, kind of in the back here. That to me, you've got sort of lots of evergreens in there, that wreath. I even started coloring that one. Sorry, focus is struggling with my camera there. Little winter poem there. Yeah, definitely evergreen stuff here at the back. And it talks about all the species here at the back too. So I think that could be considered a seasonal book. And then Floribunda Year is, it, you know, like the Tiny Year book by Agoda Pop and some of the others that I've shown. Not so much seasonal, but it does go through the months. So yeah, we've got January, foliage and plants, and then, oh, missed February somewhere, there's March. And then just goes through the year. This is a reprint, right? And it's a combination book. This is one of the ones that that Jess had shown as well. I'm gonna get this wrong. So it's a combination of Floribunda and Flower Year. Was that what it was called? Because one of those is now out of print. So I think... Does it say? It does not. Jess knew, because Jess is smart. And I was not smart enough to look it up before I started. Yeah, she's a UK illustrator. But again, beautiful book. I should color in it. Floribunda Year. Seasonal book there. This is probably one of my favorite coloring books. Mostly because I just love to look at the art that's in here. I have started coloring one picture and chickened out because this is a Posh coloring book. Posh is I think it's just the series. It's printed by, is it Andrews McMeel? Yeah, Andrews McMeel Publishing. And it's the same company that does like those Thomas Kincaid, like the Disney ones. So you've got an original artwork on the left and then line work on the right. This one is Marjolaine Baston, who I adore. I adore her artwork. And this definitely has seasonal pages in it. Again, not separated into sections necessarily, but definitely pages that cover every season. So, you know, this could be summer. The line work is difficult because it doesn't incorporate all of the detail that's on this side. So you kind of have to, and I think that's what scares me, you kind of have to be a colorist, yes, but also a bit of an artist. And I don't know if my skill level will ever be there. But I do think the book is beautiful, if only just for me to look at the artwork of the original artwork of Marjolaine on the left-hand side. I mean, there's Easter. It's just so beautiful. Kind of spring pages there. Kind of spring into summer. You've got clover there, irises here. That's usually about June for us. That's the one I started coloring. That is as far as I got. Because I think I just got scared. I was actually doing that with polychromos pencils. Believe it or not, I was using colored pencils. Which on this paper is not exactly... It's very smooth paper. I don't know. This was before... I started this years ago. This was before I even really started coloring with the Pitt pens and the Staedtler pens. And I don't... See, I'm thinking they would bleed through because it's very thin paper. So then you'd end up losing the image on the other side. So yeah, I was doing that with polychromos, and that was as far as I got. Just gonna do a bit of a quicker flip here. Just, I know you guys, I mean, there's, you know, a fall image. I'm sure you guys have seen this, if not on my channel, maybe somewhere else before. But I could just look at her art. There's Christmas. I love that. That's adorable. A little mouse. Winter. A tropical one. More spring. Again, there's amaryllis, so that's kind of winter. But I mean, it's a thick book. There's tons of images in here. But you can see it definitely, I think, covers, there's kind of summertime seaside scenes. Covers all the seasons. I love that one too. I mean, I love them all. But it's just, like I say, to pull it off on the other page, you have to be kind of an artist too, and I just do not think. I don't know if I would ever have the skill. Not that I wouldn't have to make it look exactly like hers. I was doing a little bit of work down there with Zig Clean color pens to try and get the same look, because I think hers is watercolor. And I think it looks kind of cool. If you look at it up close, it doesn't, but that's kind of the thing, right? It's watercolor, so it's almost, her artwork is kind of realistic, but kind of impressionistic too, in a way. But yeah, it's beautiful. But, so you can see the Zig, the clean color pens just went right through. So, yeah, I think probably going to have to be, because I don't want to lose these. Now, I could get another copy of this, I guess. Yeah, not sure, but I absolutely adore this book. I just don't know that I would ever color in it. But I just love having it to look at the artwork. So, there's that. So, the Posh Coloring Book Inspired by Nature by Marjolaine Beston. Oh, Layla Dooley. So I had Floribunda Year, and I had Walk in the Woods, right? So I also have the Flower Year. Now, I don't know if this is still in print, or if this is the one that went out of print, and the original Floribunda went out of print. I don't know. But this is sort of broken up the same way. So I think this is very similar to, right, Floribunda Year. So I think some pages are the same, right? This is the same page. This is just smaller and it's hardback. So font's a little bit different. But I don't know that every page is the same. Well, maybe every page is the same. Honestly, I had never sat down to look. Okay, maybe every page is the same. So I have two of the same book, just different sizes and different paper. This paper is much smoother and it's a little bit whiter. Huh, I never even realized that. Yeah, color your way through Year Flowers from the creator of the best-selling Floribunda, a flower coloring book. So I don't know if these are the same all the way through. I don't. Never actually. Never sat down to look. Just checking the very last page here. See? Yeah. So these might be the same book. So I'm not sure where the Floribunda part comes into it. I don't know. I kind of like this size better. I feel it's a better in terms of kind of scale for the drawings. But that's just me. So my apologies. So the Flower Year and Floribunda Year apparently are the same book. Did not know that. So I have 3 from, Rita Berman. Now, of course, she does have her seasonal books in that she's got a book for spring, one for summer, one for fall, one for winter, right? The walk-through books. And then she does have this sort of the Land Under the Microscope book. So, yeah. This is, again, sort of seasonal. You've got kind of spring-ish pages here at the beginning. Florals. I think there was there's one I colored. I have wouldn't necessarily have to be Easter, but I kind of colored it kind of springy, Eastery colors. Just kind of just florals again, you know. I did this double page spread, which is just kind of summery, right? Lots of foliage and florals going on there. And then it does kind of move into, you know, you're starting to get some acorns and things. That berries kind of feel a little bit more fallish there. Got rabbits, there's getting into winter. And then at the very back, there's some jungle pictures. So, I don't know. I still think that would be considered a seasonal book. And then, this is the older original German copy of this. So, this is like a compilation of some of the images from her 4 different books from each of the seasons. But, and I talked about this before, I think, when I first bought the English reprint. I don't know if you can see the difference in thickness there. So she reprinted 3 of her books in English. Hidden Earth is this one, reprinted. Hidden Oceans, or Hidden Ocean, is the land, or the land under the microscope, the sea kind of thing. And they're exact copies. They're just a little bit bigger, but every image is there. But for whatever reason, when they printed this one, it's probably, I'm thinking about half-ish. Well, maybe not half. Probably a third of the images that were in the original. So if you're getting this one, there's definitely less images than in this one. But, you know, this starts out with spring. I've done a couple in here, so there's a spring one there. I did that spring one. And then kind of moves into summer. We did a summer page there. And then moves into the fall. I don't think I've done any fall pages in here. I don't think I did any winter page. And then winter. I don't think I did any winter pages in here either. Oh. But I did do a winter page in here. So I just did this one just this past winter. So I did this as kind of a New Year's Eve kind of fireworks page. It's a glittery gel pen there. Don't think I've done any others in here. But again, this goes through, you know, starts in spring and then goes through into summer, into the fall time, and then into winter images. But again, missing, like I say, probably about a third of the images that are in the original German version. This is one I recently bought, and I haven't done anything in here yet, but it's a book. The publisher is Moulin Rouge. I don't know if it ever says anywhere who the actual illustrator is. I don't think so. I think I looked. But it's a toy company for children, I think. It comes with stickers in the back here. Quite a few of them, actually. They're quite cute. Sorry, they're shiny. But you can see that the stickers are kind of seasonal too. So it's for, like I say, it's a book that's meant for children. It's a toy company, so you can add those to your pages. But there's not many pages in here, but they are. Oh, that is one page. They are kind of arranged seasonally. So here we've got kind of the intro page, nature study page there. Printemps, it's a French book again, so there we have spring, some garden plants, été, summer, some fruits and vegetables and some birds, autumn, autumn, mushrooms and animals, and then winter. Beautiful Kay from Coloring with Kay is working in this book. I think Wendy from Wendy's Coloring is working in this book too. But I haven't done any work in it yet. But definitely a seasonal book. I think this is a seasonal book. This is an older Coco Wyo book. This was kind of the beginning of Cute and Cozy, I think. This was one of the first ones. And 2024. I've colored, I think, a couple in here. Again, not in sections seasonally, but it's certainly, I think, got... There's a winter one. I think it's got pages that cover. There's tulips that cover the seasons. I did that one for Halloween, so there you've got a Halloween page. Some flowers. Definitely lots of kind of spring and summer ones. There's got like a little vegetable stand. That one's kind of Christmas, I guess. Although there still seems to be plants going on out here, but it's got like a little Christmas tree. I'm not really sure what's going on there. There's another kind of Halloween page. Sorry, I'm not very good at staying camera, am I? There's a winter one. So again, maybe not traditionally or typically. There's a very strange Christmas carrot one. There's another Christmas one. So, you know, not typically your typical seasonal book. There's another Christmas one with cheese. But I think, excuse me, I think you could definitely call this a seasonal book. I'm going to call it a seasonal book. In terms of Cute and Cozy, there's this Fuzzy Hygge coloring book. Again, this was one of the earlier Cute and Cozy books, but I think this is, I don't even know who this is by. I don't think it says, oh, Vivi Tinta. Certainly, you know, has enough pages in here covering the different seasons. There was a Christmas one. There's, you know, there's lots indoor and there's winter. I'm pretty sure there's kind of a winter one there. Lots of garden kind of scenes. There's an Easter one with Easter eggs. I don't know if there's a Halloween. I'm pretty sure there was a Halloween kind of fall one in here, I thought. Because I was trying to look through these books when I was deciding what I was going to call a seasonal book and you know, what wasn't. Could have sworn there was a Halloween one. But I could be wrong. Maybe not. Maybe not. But there is Christmas, there's some cozy ones, and then there's also some outdoor ones with gardens and flowers and Easter, and so yeah, we could maybe call that a seasonal book if we really stretch the definition there. This is the only Usiku book I have, and again, seasonal. So it's Cozy Seasons. And this, when I first got this book, the eyes kind of freaked me out a little bit because in the actual images, the eyes tend to be, I don't know if you can see that, just blank, like they're not black. So I went through with a black gel pen and colored all the eyes of everything in this book. So I colored them black and then put a little white dot in there. And then I started, anytime there was a sky background, so there's eyes, I colored in the sky too. So I'm pretty sure every page in this book has the eyes colored, and if there's a sky background, so there's obviously you can see the seasons there, so you've got some Halloween, you've got some winter. Sorry, I had to pause and sneeze there. It's springtime, allergies. So I don't know if you would call this a full book whip or what you would call it. But I think I was trying different brands of alcohol markers too, just to see, can you see the streakiness of that one? That's alcohol marker. That's the Olo markers. I do not like them. And I know other people do, but I am not a fan of them. I bought a small set. Maybe I should give them away, or I don't know. Don't know. Not a fan. But yeah, so every page has the eyes colored and the background colored, all different blues. depending on, you know, what the scene was supposed to be. If it's nighttime, then I colored it. Oh, there I colored the grass all green. If it's sky, then I colored it black. Night sky, then it's black. So yeah, that's what I did. Sometimes even walls, apparently, I colored. But yeah, Cozy Seasons by Usiku. I think that's how you pronounce it. This is, I think we could call this a seasonal book. So this is Gnome Sweet Gnome by Teresa Goodridge. She's got a number of gnome books. But this one tries to cover gnomes, kind of a little bit of everything. So we've got, you know, garden gnomes. I think that one I would say would be fall, kind of a harvest time. Here's again more gardens. More gardens. There's like a picnic, so we could call it summertime. Gardens. Watermelon, it's summertime. This is more fall time with sunflowers and things. Indoor, but we've still got some sunflowers. Maybe call that autumn. Rain. Summertime at the beach. There's a Valentine's one. That could be autumn, could be summer. Kind of a pumpkin apple autumn. There's a fair. There's a Christmas one. There's another Christmas one. So they're mixed up. Party time. Life's better by campfire. But I think you could probably make the argument that you've got, you know, you've got enough in here, I think, for each season to call it seasonal. So Gnome Sweet Gnome, Teresa Goodridge. Okay, this one I really am cheating. If you take these two books together, then you cover all 4 seasons. So these are the Brambley Hedge coloring books, Jill Barklam, based on the children's books, and it was also a television series in the UK, right? So this one I think came out first. So this is Brambley Hedge Festive Coloring Book, and I mean you could see it's, you know, you've got the holly and the mistletoe. So this starts off in the autumn. It was a fine autumn, the blackberries were ripe, and then goes through, they're gathering in the harvest. They lose one of the mice and then they find her. And then it's snowing. And then they're going to have a snowball, like a dance. And then you've got, I mean, that could be like a little Christmas party. Roasting chestnuts. I mean, they've got a little tree. So here you've got the autumn and the winter. And here I think you've got spring and summer. So I'm cheating. I'm putting 2 of them together. Those beautiful morning spring sunshine. So they've got spring things going on. There's a wedding. And then at some point, some of the little mice go to the seaside. They go on a boat. They've got shells and... yeah. So if you put them together, one is a shiny cover and the other is matte. Not sure why. Put them together, then you've got all 4 seasons. I think these 2 books of Storm's Eye Design, which is Emma, right? Emma Peters. I think you could call these seasonal. So the Weird and Wonderful Coloring Book, again, not broken up into sections, but we've definitely got some Halloween pictures in here. Lots of florals. So, I mean, I think you can call that spring and summer. There's a Christmas page. Kind of mushrooms, Halloween. There's another Halloween page. Highland Coo, is that how you would say it? Lots of I mean, there's lots of stuff that isn't necessarily seasonal in here too, but I think we could call this seasonal. Same thing here, frogs and flowers. We've got a little frog here. I think there's even a page. There's all kinds of the frog in different Christmas scenarios. There's the frog in maybe some autumn scenarios. That looked like spring. Kind of cherry blossoms there. There's another autumn one. There's another Christmas one. It's kind of summery with the roses. So I think we could call these two seasonal books, Weird and Wonderful and the Frogs and Flowers coloring books. This is one, I'm not sure if this is still in print or not, but I do love this book. This is Flora Waycott, Nature, a seasonal coloring book. And so it says it's seasonal. I think we start in the spring. I've not colored in this. A lot of uncolored books here, isn't there, folks? So there we've got nests and eggs, spring blossoms, snowdrops and bunnies, crocuses. Tulips there, clover, to me that's getting more into summer. It's got some summer fruits, dragonflies, butterflies, different florals, some pond scenes there. That's some poppies, strawberries, blackberries. That's kind of getting more into fall. So we've got some birds and berries. Geese are flying, migrating in the winter time, or in the fall time, I should say. Adorable hedgehog. Some mushrooms, fall flowers, spider webs, acorns and squirrels, some pumpkins and things, and then we've got some snow on some evergreens there, little bird feeding tray, some thistle seeds, and then I don't know how that's winter, but I don't know if that's winter either. We've got bats, kind of like some more fall pictures. That's chestnuts, right? But then that's mistletoe, and then some holly, so now we're back in winter. And that feels more fall-like again, and there's a swan in winter. So at the end it gets a little mixed, but I think definitely still a seasonal coloring book. So that's Flora Waycott, Nature, a seasonal coloring book. Getting there, folks. These two, I know Jess had shown these on her channel when she was doing this video. So these are two books from the, this one is from the Kotowari series, and this is from the, is it called the Tokumeku series? So this, of course, is the Yuri, the mouse sketchbook. And this definitely goes through the seasons. So you've got spring. I've not colored anything in these books. Spring, summer, autumn, and then winter. And then the seasonal wreaths of plants and friends, same illustrator, but you've got the back there, it's got thumbnails. So it starts with spring again, summer, autumn, winter, and then 4 seasons. So there's a few pages here at the back that are 4 seasons combined, but yeah. Easter there. So these are definitely two seasonal books. This is a Korean watercolor book, and sometimes I have translations in the front. Draw the 4 Seasons by J.J. Green, I think. I don't know, the translation could be wrong on my part. This, so it's got some colored examples here at the front and some, you know, kind of how-to pages. This is quite thin paper. And then when the images start, this is, I think this is watercolor paper. I could be wrong. It's not as textured as the watercolor papers, say, in like the Claire Therese Gray book that we looked at earlier. But I feel like you can move. So this is Zig Clean Color I was playing with here, and I feel like you can move the watercolor on this paper better than on the other paper. So yeah, it could have sizing. It looks like, excuse me, it's perforated, but it's not. But yeah, starts with spring. Some of the pages are lengthwise like that. Quite a few of them are. Sorry, I'm not going to turn the book. Again, if you want full, slow flip throughs of these, you can let me know. You've got the original art here on the left. And then, like, that one is... I'm not sure whether to call... I guess that would be landscape. But the book itself, yeah. Sorry. I've been recording for a while. My brain is starting to fail. So now we're into summer. I mean, the original artwork is beautiful. And interesting, too. And I think I made this comment. Whether I did a flip through of this before, I'm not sure, or if it was in a haul video when I first got this book. But interesting, like landscapes, but also urban landscapes. I think that's kind of cool. So now we're into autumn. Pretty. Pretty, pretty. Definitely watercolor. And then winter. Some really pretty ones there too. Again, not anything in here. But I do like looking at the artwork. So there is that one. Seasonal. Just trying to look here. See if there's any more Korean books. Thought there was. Oh, this one is, it's called Momo the Bear, right? No, Momoro coloring. Now there's a Korean edition and a Japanese edition of this book. The Korean edition is square. The Japanese version is narrower and a bit taller, I think. And the Korean version, which is typical of Korean books, has the original artwork on the left, line work on the right, whereas the Japanese edition has all of the original artwork at the beginning instead of side by side. And again, this is one of those books where it's not in sections seasonally, but I think you could argue it's a seasonal book. You know, you've got some garden things. There's a happy birthday page. There's some that have nothing to do with the seasons. There's a Christmas one. There's a winter one. There's winter. Look at that sky. That's awesome. Autumn. Could be autumn. Has some mushrooms there. Has some, yeah, it's got the leaves falling. Those are kind of very autumn-like flowers where I am. I think that's autumn. Mushroom, autumn. So it's maybe kind of a bit in sections. Here we've got underwater kind of things. So it feels very summery. That's tulips. That would be very springish. Very simple ones at the beginning here. I think I did one. Did I do one? The very beginning? Yeah, I did that one. So violets, that's definitely spring. So this is the original and that's the one I did. Pretty sure I did that with Zig Clean Color pens. And they do bleed through a bit, so you're kind of losing a bit of the image on the opposite side. I did it a little bit different. But yeah, so this is Momoro the Bear, Momoro's coloring book. Like I say, there's this Korean version, oh sorry Claire, and a Japanese version too. This is also a Korean book, Happy Time Workbook series. In My Dream it's called, by Lim Yu-jung. That's probably not right, but that was the best I could do. Great paper in this book. There's one I did. So there's the original on the left and mine on the right. Again, not necessarily in sections, but I think you could argue, you know, you've got kind of some spring, summer stuff going on here. Kind of spring, summer. Feels like it's maybe moving into fall a little bit here. I don't know what a singing chicken has to do with fall, but one never knows. I feel like it's more fall color palettes. I mean, that's definitely fall. Fall. Their stylized Christmas tree made out of holly. So yeah, kind of winter-ish. There's another little Christmas one here. Knitting, another Christmas one there. Kind of winterish palettes here at the back. Oh, see, now at the back it does say spring, summer, autumn, winter. So it is broken into sections. There you go. So yeah, this is In My Dream Happy Time Workbook Series. Once again, if anyone wants the ISBNs for any of these, just let me know and I can, in the comments, try and give me a timestamp so I know which book you're talking about, and then I can give you the ISBN. This is another Korean book. This is Walking with Two Cats 4-season coloring book. I think that's how it translates. Banjisu. And we've got, I'm pretty sure this one is broken into, yeah, it's actual seasons. So we start with spring. This one's interesting. Again, you've got, it's Korean, so you've got the original artwork here, line work here, but it's done some coloring for you. So the coloring that's done here, that's not me. That was printed in the book, which, again, this is done for you. Can be frustrating, I suppose, if you don't want to copy the color palette. It's almost like they just based it a little bit, right? Because this isn't exactly the same as this. It's just kind of based almost. Again, this is just kind of based. But you've got the spring pictures and the two little cats sort of wandering through. Lots of spring blossoms, and then summer. And we're going into autumn. The original artwork, lots of these books, and there's been a lot of talk lately about unpopular opinions, right? And, you know, is collecting part of the hobby? For me, I think it is. You know, looking at, excuse me, tickle in my throat, at the original artwork in lots of these books is, if I don't color in here, that's okay. I mean, the artwork itself is you know, makes me happy just to flip through and look at the artwork. So we got winter here at the end. Fold out. Oh, that's the cover, right? Bend that. So yes, Walking with Two Cats 4-season coloring book. This is one that you probably all know. So this is the Desert Fox, right? Desert Fox 4-season coloring book. There's another one now too, I think. Is it seasonal? I don't know. This is the only one I have though. Starts with spring. I love the cactus. His little pet cactus is hilarious. So again, original artwork on the left, line art on the right. Beautiful. I mean, I just love looking at this original artwork. Definitely spring. Summer. Ice cream. Oh, they're just pretending the sink is a beach. Autumn. Oh, I just realized this has the most hilariously cute Halloween picture. The little cactus is dressed as a little little bat devil. He's got little horns and little tiny bat wings. And then he's carrying a little teeny tiny pumpkin for trick-or-treating. That's adorable. See, to me... Oh, and his little dinosaur helmet. Oh, this book is adorable. I might get the other one just for the artwork to look at. Fall time and then winter. Ice fishing. Some Christmas ones. Yeah, very, very sweet book. So Desert Fox 4 Seasons book. This is another, so this is a 4-season landscape coloring book. So similar to, well, sort of, this one. Korean again. This one isn't on the watercolor paper though, so I think that other one was, you know, this is a colored pencil landscape coloring book. So spring, summer, autumn, winter. Got some exercises here at the front, some practice. And then you've got your picture to copy on the left, line work on the right. Going through spring, there's summer, autumn, and winter. Some extras at the back there. So yeah, another one of these Korean books that's goes through the seasons. So this one is colored pencil. This one was watercolor. There's others too. These are my favorite, one of my favorite illustrators. So this is Green Ivy. This is technically the seasons book. So I don't have the translation here, do I? I think it's actually called 4 Seasons. But she goes through, yeah, spring, summer, autumn, winter. And here's the original. This is the only one I've done. Original on the left. Then you've got your line art on the right. This one, the line art is slightly colored to match the colors on the left. But yeah, that was spring, and then we've got summer, autumn, and then winter. So this one is specifically separated into sections. Some supplemental ones at the back there. But I think you could argue, because she has 2 more as well. So that was the first one. She then put out this nostalgia book. And not separated into sections by season, but I think there's definitely seasonal pages in here. Probably enough so that you could call this a 4 Seasons book. I mean, that's very spring. You've got spring blossoms there at the beginning. It's just not, I mean, to me that's more autumnish. So it's got, the seasons are going to be more mixed up in this one. Whereas the other one, it was, kind of separated into sections. Because, I mean, there's Christmas. And then, right after it, you've got florals and that kind of thing. So it's Morning Glories there. But I think there could be an argument made that, kind of any of her books you could probably consider seasonal to some extent. It's just that first one actually is a 4 Seasons book. And then this is the most recent one that she's put out. Don't know what this one's called. Probably should have had a translation in the front, but I don't. It's got some little tinies at the beginning. Again, I mean, there's spring. I think, does this, I mean, yeah, this one is maybe less so. there's some autumn there. Autumn. Oh, gorgeous. Winter. So yeah, this one maybe is even a little bit more back to seasonal, because I mean that's kind of, yeah, we've got kind of winter at the back here. So, and I cannot remember the title of this one, but I think Green Ivy, I think any of her 3 books you could probably call seasonal books. And this one reminded me a lot of Green Ivy. Bought this one off of Etsy. It's called All Seasons Every Moment by Rosa Kim So-eun. So it's a Korean book again. Similar-ish. But it is broken up in 2 seasons. So we've got spring, summer, it says fall, it's supposed to say fall, winter. This one, though, you've got the original artwork on one page, and probably a little title or description there, and then the line art on the next page. So, that color palette is stunning. I love that color palette. And then artwork. So this is the paper in here is quite thick. So it's basically this family with 2 little ones kind of going through the seasons. So here, that's Forsythia. So we've got spring. I mean, the artwork's beautiful, though. There's dads helping them color. There's a little girl and then a little baby. There's a little girl playing with a cat. Oh, a little boy, not a baby, I guess. And then we're into summer. Napping in the shade. So some of them are interior scenes. That's quite detailed. They spelled fall correctly there. The artwork's beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful artwork. I guess if you wanted to copy it, you'd have to take a picture. I mean, I guess you could pull it out too, but and then you could copy it there. Going to school. Pretty winter. That's the cover image there. That's pretty. It's like Scandinavian vibes there. Getting sweaters out for the winter. I can see some snow outside. Kind of Christmassy, but not too Christmassy. And snow outside. Just warm and cozy in the kitchen. Tent fort. So yeah. All seasons, every moment. Very, very nice book. April does have a seasons book, so this is Coloring Book of the 4 Seasons. This is a Korean version. I think there are Japanese. Is there even an English version of this? Maybe? Because it's the Korean version, then I've got the original artwork on the left, line art on the right. So I think we start with spring. And then we go through into summer. And then into autumn. Beautiful, beautiful original art. And then into winter. Some Christmas ones in there. And then just some extras at the back. Yeah, I'm sure you guys have all seen this book. So that's April's coloring book of the Four Seasons. Eerie? I think you could argue quite a few Eerie books could be seasonal in the sense, again, that not that there's sections, but that you've got seasonal pictures within the book. I think this first one, Romantic Country, is probably maybe the most so. I didn't actually look through all of my Eerie books, but you know, here you've got a winter scene. I mean, you've got lots of indoor scenes too, but you know, you've got kind of summertime, outdoor tea room scenes. Here you've got, you know, kind of vegetable garden, kind of harvest scenes. There's a Christmas one. There's the only one I've done in here, so there's a Halloween one. There's an Easter egg one right on the backside. Kind of outdoor. I feel like that one could be kind of fall. Camping, so summer. Kind of spring ones. Again, I mean, it's not marketed as a seasonal book, but I think there's maybe, excuse me, I don't know, seasonal pages in here. I thought there was more. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe it's a different one. I thought there was more Christmas ones near the front. But I was mistaken. So anyway, this is just the first Romantic Country book. I'm going to cheat. I'm going to call that seasonal. And then just a few Japanese ones to look through. So this is the Flowers and Animals coloring book. Cosmic Mook is the publisher. I don't actually know who the illustrator is for this. I don't have it translated. But I'm pretty sure... I thought it had... Maybe not. I'm pretty sure this is seasonal. So I think it kind of starts out in springtime. And then moves kind of into summer. And I think we're kind of moving into the fall time. Although that's still spring, but then now you've got winter. So maybe not exactly. That's, yeah. But I think you could probably call this a seasonal book, I would think. Sorry, some of you out there are probably screaming the illustrator's name at me, but I cannot remember it. So Flowers and Animals coloring book. We had the Kanoko Igusa postcard book earlier, but this is Rhapsody in the Forest. I think this one is seasonal. I think. I could be wrong. I think it has seasonal pages in it. Maybe not broken up into seasons. I mean, there's definitely seasonal pages in here. Probably enough that you could call it a seasonal book. I don't think it's in sections, but yeah, because I mean, there was Christmas before. There's a Halloween page. There's kind of mushrooms and yeah. I think there was even an Easter page in here. Is it right at the beginning? This is the original. Yeah, I mean that's kind of spring there. So this is the original Japanese version. It was called Rhapsody in the Forest. In the English version, it's called Garden of Fairy Tale Animals. So Kanoko Igusa, Garden of Fairy Tale Animals in the English version is the same as this book. Paper's different, but it's the same book. I think the Nelko Neko book, Cat's coloring book, I think it's called, we could argue is seasonal to some extent. Again, don't think it's broken up. Oh yeah, it is. There's spring, summer, there's autumn, and winter. So you've got a seasonal book there. This is one that I saw on Maya's channel. So this is Kimagure-chan's travel diary. Yoshizawa Fukuyuki. Sorry, that came out badly. But yeah, this one goes through the seasons. So you've got spring. The cats in here are hilariously adorable. Summer, that's with the seashell little bralette there. That's funny. Autumn. Again, not colored in these. They will stay in my collection. There's a cute little Halloween double page spread. And winter. They will stay in my collection. Someday I will be retired and I will have more time. I'm filming this in May 2026, which is like end of my school year, so I'm actually doing this very late at night, so I apologize if I don't seem terribly high energy. I'm kind of tired. But end of my school year, so I'm just trying to find a bit of time to do some filming. This is Four Seasons by Aiko Fukawa? Is that... I think that's how you pronounce it. It's another Japanese book. Definitely goes through to sections here, so you can see spring written kind of stylized there. And then the summer. Cool. Autumn. Oh, I feel like, oh, there's winter. Well, that's interesting. I'd forgotten this book. So it's got like this, I'm not sure why. It's like tissue. It's like an overlay almost for that. Interesting. I'm sure maybe it tells me there why it does that. I don't know. And then it says Four Seasons. Oh, seasons. Sorry, there. This is an older book. Well, reprinted in 2020. Four Seasons coloring book. Oh, sorry, quite shiny cover. And the last one, which, gosh, I wish you could find this book. But you can't anymore. So this is Fantasy Season. This is that Korean? I think that's Korean. Oh no, maybe that's, oh, I don't know. Maybe that's Japanese. Could be Japanese. Animal Fantasy Season. Yukako Ode, I think, is the illustrator. And this goes through the months. So here down the very bottom of the page, it says January. I adore this book. I just have the one copy. So we're still in January, February, St. Valentine's Day, and we're into March. You might still be able to find used copies of this, maybe. It's April, so happy Easter. May. There's June. So lots of double page spreads. There's July. August. I've started basing one page in here. I think it's in September. Yeah, there. That's all I've done. It's actually based in, looks like Pitt pens. I did this a long time ago. Yeah, kind of wish I hadn't done that now, but hopefully I can fix it. There's September, October, so there's some Halloween ones. They're very cute. October, November, and December. So yeah, I can't get it again. I mean, I guess I could scan the pages if I wanted another copy, but yeah, it's got, this is really thick card, the back here, so it's like little postcards and tags you could color and cut out if you wanted. But yeah, fantasy season coloring book. That's a very shiny one to end with. Where does a less shiny one? Less shiny. This is less shiny. There we go. That's it. So 2 hours. I managed to ramble on about seasonal coloring books, but I really do adore seasonal coloring books. It's been a long video. So yeah, thank you so much to Jess for sort of giving me this idea. Go and check out her video. I'll try and remember to link it below. She did the same thing. And yeah, let me know what you guys think about seasonal coloring books. Do you like them? Are they your favorite? Are you in the Southern Hemisphere and this whole fixation on Northern Hemisphere seasons drives you nuts? Let me know in the comments below. I hope everyone is safe. I hope everyone is doing well. And I hope everyone is enjoying their coloring. Till next time, folks. Take care. Bye-bye.